Welcome to Home Decor Inspiration. Modern farmhouse kitchen design luxury meets rustic charm. Modern farmhouse kitchen isn't a theme, it's a feeling. It's the hush of dawn on oiled oak floors, the sparkle of unlacquered brass in first light, soft clatter of stoneware that sounds like home. It balances soulful, time-worn character with the quiet precision of today's best design. If you want a space that hosts candlelit dinners and muddy boot pancake mornings with equal grace, this episode is for you. We're blending luxury, artisanal stone, bespoke cabinetry, panel-ready tech with rustic charm, reclaimed wood, hand-glazed tile, woven textures. Think clean lines softened by natural materials, resilient finishes that patina, and a layout that moves intuitively. This is where function whispers and atmosphere sings, where every detail is intentional and nothing feels staged now. If you're getting value from these ideas, please tap subscribe right now. If you haven't already, hit like and tell me in the comments which element you'd splurge on first: stone, lighting, or custom cabinetry. Your support helps more design lovers find this video, and it fuels future deep dive episodes. Thank you. I read every comment and love your project ideas. Metals, faucets, and the statement sink mix with confidence. Modern farmhouse lives at the intersection of utility and romance, and nowhere is that clearer than the metal story. Choose one hero finish to lead, often unlacquered brass or aged nickel, then let supporting players, blackened steel, stainless interiors harmonize. Hardware should feel solid in the hand. Bin poles for drawers and simple knobs for doors keep the look grounded. At the sink, a tall bridge faucet with a separate sprayer nods to history. If you're team minimalist, a single-hole workhorse with a hidden pull-down keeps lines clean. Apron front fire clay or a hammered stainless farmhouse sink is practical art. Add a custom wood or stainless grid so it ages gracefully. Love a pot filler? Install it only if you'll actually use it, and mount it so steam won't bathe the joints. On the hood, a slim brass strap or riveted band can be the quiet exclamation mark, restrained, not costume. For a tailored touch, specify matching metal outlets on the island, and let the dishwasher vanish behind a paneled front so your metals read as accents, not chaos. Mixed, not messy, that's the rule. Stone, tile, and tactile surfaces, the hand feel of luxury. The surfaces tell the story. Start with the counters. If you love the romance of marble but fear etching, consider Taj Mahal quartzite, soapstone sealed to a velvety charcoal, or a matte porcelain slab. Mix thicknesses for depth, a beefy 4 cm edge on the island for presence, slimmer perimeters for finesse, and choose an eased or small radius edge that feels comfortable in the hand. Backsplash sets the mood. Hand-glazed zealage shimmering with soft variation, elongated subway in a milky glaze, or a full slab carried up behind the range. A simple shelf integrated into the slab becomes a perch for olive oil and a seasonal branch. Consider a plaster hood that meets the stone seamlessly so everything feels monolithic. For floors, oiled oak planks deliver warmth. French limestone or durable porcelain with fossil flecks gives that centuries-old vibe without the maintenance. Matching stone outlet covers near the range, a drain board routed into the slab by the sink, and a utility ledge behind the faucet to corral soap and brush. Surface is touch and touch is memory. Choose materials that invite hands, not just eyes. Plan the flow like a pro, layout before looks. Start with the bones. Modern farmhouse is generous but disciplined, clean lines, comfortable clearances, and a layout that works hard every single day. Aim for wide aisles of 100 to 110 centimeters around the island so 2 people can pass. Plan by zones rather than the old triangle. Prep near the sink and bins, cook by the range with a landing space on both sides, bake with vertical sheet storage, clean up with a pull-out for soaps and towels, and a coffee/drinks zone that keeps guests out of the cook's lane. Place the sink where you can daydream, under a window or a steel-framed opening to the garden. Size the island to function, not to brag. Allow knee space for actual meals, integrate drawers for knives and linens, and tuck a hidden charging drawer for phones and tablets. If you love entertaining, add a secondary prep sink at one end of the island. Think choreography, Hot items must have a safe landing, trash should be one pivot from the prep board, and the dishwasher must open without blocking a walkway. Add a built-in bench along a window wall with storage below. Finish with continuous flooring to unify spaces, and keep sightlines calm by aligning tall cabinets, hood, and island pendants on a single axis. Light it in layers, mood on a dimmer. There's no luxury without lighting. Design 3 layers, task, ambient, and accent. Over the island, hang 2 substantial pendants, oversized but airy. Keep their canopies aligned with the hood centerline for visual calm. Mount discreet under cabinet LEDs for shadow-free prep, and toe kick lighting so midnight snackers can glide. Put dimmers everywhere, daylight shifts, and your lighting should too. Choose warm temperature 2700 to 3000 K to flatter wood, stone, and faces. Mix finishes with intent. Antique brass warms walnut, blackened steel sharpens cream cabinets. A chandelier over the breakfast nook gathers the space. And don't forget the practical poetry. Switch the range light on its own dimmer, label the banks so guests can help, and wire a master goodnight switch near the pantry door. Light is the soundtrack of your kitchen. When it swells and softens on cue, everything else feels expensive. Appliances, pantry, and smart convenience, effortless is the new luxe. Luxury is what you don't notice because it just works. Panel-ready fridges and dishwashers let the room read furniture first, machine second. Consider a dual fuel range for precision or an induction cooktop with a separate wall oven and warming drawer for hosting. Choose a quiet dishwasher, look for low decibel ratings with a third rack for utensils. Tuck the microwave behind a lift-up door or inside a tall pantry so your sightlines stay calm. Build a coffee and drink station with a plumbed espresso machine, bean storage, and an under-counter fridge drawer. Hide it behind pocket doors so guests can self-serve without stepping into prep space. Pantry strategy matters. A walk-in with shallow shelves, 25 to 30 centimeters, keeps everything visible, while a cabinet-style larder with spice racks on the doors frees up counters. Add task power, USB, and standard outlets in drawers, a charging nook for tablets, and a dedicated spot for the stand mixer with a lift. Smart, not flashy. Wi-Fi ovens you can preheat on the commute, internal cameras in the fridge for market runs, and leak sensors under the sink that text you before disaster. Quiet competence reads as luxury. styling the atmosphere, color, texture, and soul. Now give the room a heartbeat. Keep the palette calm, creamy whites, soft greige, olive, and warm oak, then punctuate with matte black, charcoal, or inky blue. Layer tactile textiles, linen cafe curtains, braided leather stool seats, waffle towels on S-hooks, a vintage wool runner that can take a little chaos. Ground the counter with a generous wooden board, a terracotta crock of wooden spoons, and a bowl of imperfect citrus. Add life, herbs and clay, a trailing pot hose, or an overscaled branch in a stoneware jug. Style open shelves with a rule of thirds, something vertical, pitcher, something horizontal, stack of plates, something sculptural, hand-thrown bowl. Corral clutter in baskets, decant pantry staples into glass so textures become decor, and hang a forged rail for daily mugs. Consider acoustics and scent. A wool rug softens footsteps, and a discreet diffuser turns cooking into ritual. Most of all, edit. Luxury isn't how much you display, it's how deliberately you choose. When every object earns its place, the kitchen breathes. Cabinetry with soul, craft, proportion, and storage that works. Luxury meets rustic in the joinery. Choose framed, inset shaker doors for timeless lines. Warm them with quarter-sawn white oak or paint in grounded hues, warm white, putty, mushroom, or earthy green. Mix closed bases with a few glass fronts or metal mesh doors for display. Line those with vertical tongue and groove backs so even the inside feels crafted. Use full extension drawers for pots, a tall pullout for oils by the range, dividers for baking sheets, and spice pullouts. A larder cabinet with pocket doors hides the toaster and blender, while a broom closet swallows the cordless vacuum. Specify soft close hardware you can feel, and choose a furniture toe kick so cabinets read like built-ins. Add beadboard to an island back or panel the fridge to quiet the room. If you crave open shelves, curate one stretch near the sink for daily stoneware and keep everything else behind doors. Then add a single surprise, wire front doors, antique mirror in a hutch or reeded glass to telegraph patina without clutter. That's the alchemy, honest materials, calm lines, and storage that makes everyday living feel choreographed instead of chaotic. Real talk to close us out. The best modern farmhouse kitchens don't chase trends, they collect truths. Honest materials that wear in, not out. Storage that remembers how you live. Lighting that flatters food and faces. Machines that disappear until the moment they delight you. If you're renovating, spend on touch points, cabinets, counters, hardware, light, then keep decor simple and seasonal. If you're refreshing, paint the lowers a grounded hue, change the pendants, swap hardware to a living finish, roll out a vintage runner, and edit the counters. Let wood, stone, metal, fabric, and flame carry the narrative. When you plate pancakes, look around, warm textures and a room that works as beautifully as it looks. Luxury meets rustic charm not in labels, but in how kindly the space treats you.